guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and it has been a while since I filmed a video. I was out of the country for a week, and so I did a lot of pre-filming, so it's been almost 2 weeks since I filmed, so it feels a little weird sitting down. It's also about to storm, so if you hear any like crazy sounds in the background, it's because it's downpouring outside. But I wanted to film this video because I have a list of books that I think are underrated and not recommended enough, and I think it's interesting how there's a big conversation that's always going around since the beginning of any kind of bookish space of people talk about the same books and it's the same popular books. And I will say, social media pushes popular things. The more popular something is, the more interaction it'll get. The more interaction your post gets, the more something will push it. So I will post a Instagram photo of Elsie Silver books and it'll get 1,000 likes. I will post a photo of a book that I'm really enjoying that I don't see a lot of people talking about. It'll get 100 likes. And I am not doing anything differently on my account except for who the book is. And so I do know a lot of creators read a wide variety of books, and you just might be seeing what is pushed at you because it is popular. So these are underrated. I'm not saying people don't talk about them. I'm saying more people need to read them, and I don't see them as much because they are not pushed by the lovely algorithm on all the social media apps. So please check these out. They will all be linked down below. I think they deserve so much more hype and love than they get, and I hope they find more readers. Every single one of them has less than 5,000 ratings on Goodreads, which I felt like was a good cutoff of being kind of like underrated, because a lot of popular ones have 10, 20, 30, 200,000 ratings on Goodreads. So check these out if you want some romance recs you probably haven't heard of. Unless you watch my channel, I have talked about these. So let's get to the recs. The first one is a newer to me author, and that is Cleo White. I recently read her series where it's all age gap, kind of like daddy romances, where the first one is my favorite, is Children Thrilled, and in this one the heroine works for her best friend's dad, and she has the biggest crush on him, and he actually has the biggest crush on her. She literally lives with his daughter, and so they both are like, this is never gonna happen. She's like, he would never like me. He's literally like the CEO of this company, super well off, but she ends up getting into an accident right around Christmas time, and both of his daughters are off like traveling, and so she has a concussion. She can't be left alone. So he is like, you're staying with me. And so they get snowed in together at his like really nice house, and things finally happen between them. It is such a fun, spicy, but cozy snowed in romance and age gap, and I loved it. And the second one is our heroine with her ex's dad, and then the third one is our heroine with her dad's best friend. So the hero from book one is his best friend that she falls for. So I really love this series so much, could not recommend it enough, and I feel like Cleo White deserves so much more hype than she gets. Then I have one that I was shocked by how many ratings it has, because this author is pretty well known for her like ranch cowboy romantic suspense, and that is For Better or Hurst by Ava Hunter. These are kind of her, I feel like it kind of looks rom-com-y, but it's not rom-com because I don't love rom-coms. This is definitely very angsty. So our heroine is a death doula, and she is working with this guy who wants to go on vacation with the rest of his family because he is literally dying, and asks her to come along, and she does. And his grandson is actually someone whose wedding she broke up, and she used to be hired to break up weddings too. She's just a very interesting person with a lot of different professions she's had, and so they recognize each other, and he is like, she is literally scamming you out of money. What is she doing here? Absolutely not. And so the grandfather puts his foot down. He's like, she is important to me, she's staying. So they go on this like tropical family vacation, and she actually has type 1 diabetes too, and I love how he cares for her during that, and they go from hate to love, and so good. Obviously it's kind of a little bit of a heavier topic of going around the fact that the grandfather is literally dying, but there's a lot of family trauma that happens in here, and I just really had fun reading this. Definitely angsty as well because it's very hate to love, but they end up falling for each other, and it's so good. Another one that I love, and I might be biased because I do love the fiber arts, but it is Close Knit by Kelson Denise Stone. I'm also a huge soccer fan, so she's actually a knitting influencer slash crochet. I think she does both, and so she literally makes a living off of YouTube and like social media from crocheting, and I'm like, I love this. And so she moves to the UK, and she moves into the same building as the soccer team, and she doesn't know this. I think she ends up getting it from a relative or something, and so there's the only kind of unit in the building that is not a soccer player from that local team, and her next door neighbor is actually the guy she had hooked up with back in the US, had a one-night stand. They didn't tell each other anything about themselves, and so he's like, are you stalking me? She's like, I literally don't know who you are. So it's really fun, and she gets really close with the teammates and kind of like teaches them how to knit, and the hero is dealing with a lot though. Like, he has a lot of PTSD and trauma from his last team that he's is still trying to get over, and he's trying to kind of like recuperate his image that was kind of ruined because of something that happened that was not consensual by him. And so he has a very heavy just things he's dealing with in this book as well, but they are so cute together, and I loved the just premise of this one, and I wish more people read it. Then I have On Midnight Shores by Julia Olivia. I feel like she's kind of blowing up for If It Makes You Happy, which I loved. That is like kind of her fall kind of Gilmore Girls-y romance, but this one's her newest release, and I adored this one. It's very artsy, small town. So the heroine is on a break from going to college, and she is really artistic, but she is trying to go into graphic design and kind of like cookie cutter, trying to get a job, and she can't really find an internship. And the hero is this broody, tattooed, he smokes, he's very kind of misunderstood in town, but he owns the art gallery in town, and she basically worms her way into getting an internship with him, and they had hooked up at one of the like town parties, and now she's like, I want to work for you, like I need an internship, nobody will help me. And so he ends up taking her under his wing, and he definitely kind of steers her more towards being more passionate and expressive than like cookie cutter and trying to do what she thinks people want her to do. And I had so much fun reading this. He was so jealous when other people showed interest in her, and I was just obsessed with him, and the setting is so cute, and this whole book was so good. Just the vibes were perfect for what I wanted. I wish more people read this one as well. If you want a little bit of a kind of messy, angsty romance, I would recommend Bittersweet Surrender by QB Tyler. I haven't finished this duet yet, but this is her least read, I believe, when I was looking at her backlist. This is messy. It is, the heroine is going to therapy with her husband because they're on the rocks, and she falls for her therapist. So if you like mess, I had a lot of fun reading this, and I definitely need to continue on this series, but I didn't because I don't like finishing things. Not because I didn't like it. This was very fun. So if you are interested in a little bit of a mess, read this one. Like in a good way. Messy. In a good way, like purposeful. It's really good. Then I was shocked because I was looking at Hannah Cohen's backlist, and the first one is Power Shift. I love this. I did talk about this recently in my Why Choose Rex video. This is a Omegaverse hockey romance, and to be fair, it did recently come out. It's probably why it doesn't have as many Goodreads reviews, but this one is Omegaverse, where the heroine, she works for this birthing clinic, and she has just like really bad luck dating, and she meets her scent match, and her scent match wants nothing to do with her, and then she meets another one, part of that pack, and he is like, you're my mate. And so there's a couple of them in that pack that do not want to be her mate, and the other ones absolutely adore her and want to, so she kind of has to break down their walls and realize like why they're so hesitant to have an Omega, and it's really good. And they're all hockey players, and they're all super overprotective, and I had so much fun reading this one. And another Hannah Cohen that I was shocked, it has like 2,000 ratings, is Stealing Sunshine. This is her sapphic romance, and it is small town, tattoo artist, so good. They have to live together, and I really, really love this one. One of them I think was a teacher. One of them needs a place to stay, so they end up moving into the extra room that the other one has, and we have spicy tattoo scenes, and it's just so good, and I loved it. This was one of the first books I read this year, and I gave it 5 stars, and more people need to read it, especially if you love sapphic romances and small town and tattooed heroines and tattoo artists. Like, read this one, please. Then I do have Requiem by Callie Hart. So Callie Hart really blew up for obviously Quicksilver, but she did have some other books previously, and I had read this one because Tori had raved about it, and it's very hard to explain without spoiling it, but the heroine is kind of training to kill people, and she's training to kill this one guy, and she has to go to this very secluded boarding school. Like, I remember she like arrives at like a lake, and then they have to take a helicopter or like a plane somewhere, and she arrives at the school, and she wants to kill this guy because he is responsible for her best friend's death. And I was so into this. That's all I can say without, you do not look up anything about this book. Do not look and see other reviews because it'll spoil the experience, but I went in knowing nothing, and I was obsessed. So if you want a very, very unique book, like I've literally read nothing like this, and if that premise sounds interesting, read this one. It's so good. If you want a second chance, very, very angsty and very, very emotional book, What We Broke by Marley Valentine. I was also shocked by her backlist and how her books don't have a ton of ratings because I've seen a lot of people reading her, so I thought she was definitely higher up there on the reviews on Goodreads, but this one especially is very emotional. They are married, it is MM, and they had a tragic thing happen, and they're really trying to overcome that together, and that's all I can say about this plot. It does deal with very, very heavy topics, especially around loss, and they're finding their way back to each other. So if you want a very, very emotional second chance romance, What We Broke is definitely one of those. If you want some sports, I do have a couple sports. So we have Fourth Degree by Nikki Castle. This one is a coach MMA student. He is very aware of their power dynamic, and so he knows how it would look if he actually dated her, so he tries to resist as much as possible. She's very mature for her age. She's in college and she takes care of her little brother, and she is into him, and she goes to the gym as something as like herself. She doesn't really have a lot of money to be able to do it, but I think she strikes a deal with him so she can clean and get a discount in order to be able to do MMA, because that's something that she does for herself, and she literally does nothing for herself, so she does that, and they obviously fall for each other. A very taboo, forbidden age gap. He knows what it would look like if it came out that they were together, and if you like that MMA as well, I would recommend this one. The whole series is great. If you want a baseball romance, I have The Shakeoff by Lulu Moore. This one is really fun. So she is actually older than him, and they hook up, and she is not impressed. She's like, wow, that was bad. And so he ends up having bad luck and like really bad mojo going into pitching, and he's like, oh my god, you've cursed me, because like, you know, they're very superstitious in athletes and in sports, and so he is like, I need to get better. Will you help me get better? I will like sleep with me and I can make it up. And she's like, no. And so the story goes from there, and he is determined to be better in bed so that he breaks his curse on his pitching, and it's so fun. I really like this whole series. 1 is my favorite, but that is the most popular because it is book 1. This is book 2. Book 3 is fun, and then book 4 came out recently, and I have to catch up on that. But overall, this whole series, if you like baseball, read it. And the last one, I do feel like I talk about this all the time, but mostly during like cozy fall time, and that is Take It or Leave It by Lainey Hatcher. I have to read the next book in the series. I haven't yet. It's a winter one, but this is perfect for fall. Perfect small town cozy. So he used to be this really great baseball player. He gets injured and he's back in the small town. He's very, very grumpy because he hates when people bring up like the good glory days, because he just is mad at life for not letting him pursue his passion. And so he's actually running his family's apple farm. She is from a city, and she sees this town on this like website of like best places to go in the fall. So she goes there, and she is instantly just welcomed with open arms by everybody in town. They all love her. It's so small town, and they have like this perfect setup corner at this like cafe for her to work at, and the hero constantly sees her, and it's their romance, and it is so cute. Like, if you love the cozy small town, please read Lainey Hatcher. She is so underrated, and I need to read her next book so badly. Oh, I think she has 2 out now, actually. She has a winter one, and she has one with sunflowers on the cover. I need to read both of them so badly because I love this series so, so much. Hopefully I can read them soon, but definitely recommend Lainey Hatcher and Take It or Leave It if you want that. Like, literally, he works on an apple farm. She goes to a small town. It's so good. And those are all my recommendations for romances that are definitely underrated. I wish more people picked them up. I wish more people talked about them. So if you're looking for things that are not recommended all the time, that you don't really see on a lot of people's channels, check these books out. I think that you will love them, especially if you love the books that I love. So definitely check them out. I will list them all down below. Let me know if you have any recommendations as well that you wish more people read that have less than 5,000 ratings on Goodreads. I would love all the recommendations. If you feel like they're hidden gems, more people have to read, leave them in the comments. And if you made it this far, leave an apple emoji in the comments to let me know that you've made it for Take It or Leave It with the Apple Farm. And that is all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Bye.